Hey, this is Matthew.
And it's Andrea.
Welcome back to Nerd News Today. It's time for another action figure review and unboxing. Literally.
We got boxes, we're gonna open them.
So if you are wondering what we're going to be reviewing today because you didn't read the title of the video, which you should have, shame on you for clicking a title you don't know what you're looking at. But if you didn't know what we're doing today, we're doing Ghostbusters today.
Well, wouldn't it be better for them to click on something random? See, maybe they'd like it.
As long as it's my video, not someone else's. So today what we got is Ghostbusters from Hasbro. This is Hasbro's first time touching Ghostbusters in like 2 or 3 decades because technically it was Kenner who made the real Ghostbusters figures, but Hasbro eventually bought them out. So we've gotten figures from Mattel not that long ago. We got figures from Diamond Select even more recently than that. And now finally in 2020 we have Ghostbusters by Hasbro. Yeah, I gotta tell you guys already off the bat, we're starting this review a little bit sour because what you see in front of us here is how Hasbro sent me the figures.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
So I pre-ordered it when they first announced the launch. Day 1 pre-order right here is what you're looking at. I got all 6 as the full set. A few weeks ago, I guess, I got a notification. Whatever your shipping package is, A is on your way. Blah, 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 D is on the way. Basically 6 separate shipments, and they all ship different days.
This makes no sense.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's a wasteful amount of packaging.
6 boxes.
We're in the middle of a pandemic, so quite frankly, I know they have a ton of stuff to ship out in general, but wouldn't it have been, more thoughtful to say, you have big packages going to one location, several, put them all together so the mail people only have to do it once instead of 6 different times.
Yeah, that would be logical.
And
again, I pre-ordered this as a set, not separately, and this is directly from Hasbro Pulse. We're not talking Big Bad Toy Store or another website. Directly from Hasbro's service, and this is how it was sent to me.
Yeah, this is just really thoughtless.
I don't know if other people have the same problem, but it's pretty
dumb.
Yeah,
if you guys order, if any of you have the same problem, please sound off. We'd love to know more about your experiences.
And yeah, I also wanted to open it up on camera to show you guys that yes, this is like not me fooling around. This is how it was shipped, and this is you can see here. This is how it was packaged. One of these guys to protect it, which doesn't do a ton. And I guess here's our first look at the packaging of the figure.
Ooh, I like the packaging.
Yeah, and I don't want to talk too much about them just yet, but I think they're going to basically be mostly identical. So I don't think we're going to spend a ton of time talking about the boxes.
Okay, I do want to say real quickly on the box, I would absolutely love to have this side panel as a poster. Yeah, I think that's basically the most exciting part about the box.
So the packaging here, it's this kind of brownish color. It's meant to be like the texture of the jumpsuit. That's kind of new and interesting. I'll give them that. And yeah, I do really like the design here on the side. I think that is really, really cool, graphically speaking. That's awesome.
Yeah, that's just a great pattern. And I think that if Hasbro was really smart, they'd make a poster of that. And
yeah. Otherwise, it's pretty small packaging, actually. That's one plus already for it, is that it's very small. And of the modern Ghostbuster figures from Mattel and Diamond, this is the most collector-friendly and actually the only collector-friendly packaging.
Yeah.
Because you can easily seal this guy back up here. No problems. And on the back, you can see who else is in the line, which is a 6-figure lineup. Our 4 Ghostbusters, Dina and Zuul, along with the build of Vince Clortho figure, which is pretty cool. But really, the only thing that's going to be different in each figure is the bio of each of these guys. So yeah, I don't
and the
need
bios
to show
aren't
them
that
again.
Exciting. Yeah.
No, they're really not. This is my first time actually looking at the figure, though.
It's not bad. I mean, I feel like he deserves a mustache.
You're being a lot more polite than I am right now.
I said it's not bad. I didn't say it was great.
I think we need to unbox the rest of these and. Yeah, let's see.
I think we need to take a look at all of them as a whole.
Yeah, so we're going to go cut these guys out and take them all out of the packages, and then we will get to work.
Okay.
All right, and we're back, and our Ghostbusters are out of package. We've had a nice long look at them, and there's a lot to talk about here.
Yes, there is.
So for you folks who are new to the channel, we do a lot of Ghostbuster toy reviews here. This is a pretty important subject to me.
Yes, it is.
So I am very particular about these figures. When I first saw them at Toy Fair, I was flipping out for them. I was super excited for them. Yeah. And then I got them in person. And then the Fire Nation attacked.
How dare you use the Fire Nation in vain?
So there's a lot of good, there's a lot of bad. So let's start with something.
So let's start with some good.
I'd say, again, going between good and bad, we got to talk about the head sculpts because some of them nailed it, others not so much. And on our little display here, we've got our 4 Ghostbusters, but we can't forget Gozer, who I mistakenly called Zuul before. Gozer is here as well, and we also have Dana Barrett, possessed Dana Barrett. But let's start with the Ghostbusters first. So
let's start with something positive.
I think the Egon sculpt is one of the best ever.
Yes, absolutely. Like, that face is just, oof, that is pure Harold Ramis.
That is a great, great rendition of Egon. The Bill Murray, I'd say, is the second best face.
Yeah, that's a really great expression.
It's really good. And then we get to Winston and Rey.
Okay, so I really liked what you said about Rey, how it's not that bad and it looks like him, but it's also not good.
So I think like sculpting, they got him. They captured it sculpting wise, but this digital painting that they're doing now, maybe it's just my figure, I don't know, but it looks awful. I don't like that at all.
Yeah.
His face doesn't look right at all because of that paint job.
Yeah.
It's like if this, and then I'm like peeking at it from over here on the sides. I mean, yeah, it actually no, even from the sides, it kind of doesn't look like him. It's not that good of a head sculpt.
That's very fair. But what I want to talk about is Winston.
Oh, Winston.
Ernie Hudson.
So we've looked at Ernie Hudson figures in the past.
Yes.
He's had a difficult face to sculpt in our opinion.
Yes. Biggest problem is no one seems to know how to sculpt a black man. And I don't understand that because, look, his face is not the same as the rest of the guys, but their faces are not the same either, and they managed to figure it out.
More or less.
Yeah. In this case, sometimes with Winston sculpts, it's, the nose that they get wrong. A lot of times it's the mouth. And in this case, which actually really upsets me, they got the head shape. That's another issue. They always seem to have an issue with the head shape.
It's his hair that throws him off, I feel like.
Yeah, something about it just throws them off. But in this case, they got the head, they got the eyes, they got the nose, and then what the hell did they do to that mouth?
It looks like what they did to Winston's poor mouth here was they shrank it down. Because, yeah, like if you really just only look at his eyes and his nose even, like that's correct. But
yeah,
when you see the mouth, it's like it's too small.
This is what they did to him. Here's his mouth.
Ugh.
And what's even crazier is if you look at the back of the packaging, I'm going to pull the packaging out real quick. They got it right.
And in prototype form, it looked good also.
Yeah. They seem to have forgotten that he has a lip and put the mustache on, and instead of putting the mustache above the lip, they put the mustache right where the lip is supposed to be. Because also, if you look at him from a slightly different angle, his face normalizes a little bit more and you see the lip.
Yeah, it actually does. It's kind of funny.
It's ridiculous because he's not that, it's not like he's got a weird face or anything. It's just like he's got bigger lips than the other guys. It's very, very frustrating. There is no reason why they should have this much of a problem sculpting a face.
Especially at this point with all the new advances we had, even in like 3D rendering and digital sculpting that we're doing, it shouldn't be problematic.
It should not be an issue at all.
Faces are a little bit here and there. Some are better than others. We'll come back to that though.
Mm-hmm.
Let's talk about bodies though. That is one big improvement.
Yes.
And that's the bodies are very, very articulated. And they are way more articulated than Mattel figures, but not quite as much as Diamond, but almost also are.
Yeah.
Which is confusing to say, but I'll explain why.
I get what you're saying.
So, yeah, they have a lot of articulation. They've got bull-jointed heads. I'll use Winston here as the example of bull-jointed heads. We have double-jointed shoulders. You can see there it's actually a double-jointed shoulder. You can see it better from behind, which gives us a very great range of motion. We have bicep swivel on the arms. We have a double-jointed elbow, which is stiff out the box. And again, you can see just how much articulation we're getting out of this.
Cool.
Which means they're going to be able to hold their proton guns very nicely, very easily, in theory. The wrists... the wrist joint does not move, but the wrist does over here, so that's fine. Wrist is a ball-jointed thing here. The waist moves. We don't have a buck. So, again, comparing it to the Diamond figures, Diamond didn't have this double shoulder joint.
No.
But it did have a buck that could move the torso up and down with. This just has a turning waist. But actually...
it's got
actually, it does have that. So.
See, that's why I mentioned that it reminded me of G.I. Joe.
Yeah, okay.
Because it reminded me of the old-fashioned, how they had that rubber band inside.
So we've got a little bit of extra articulation. It's not necessarily as much as you get with the cut up here, but we still have something going on here, so that's good.
I don't
it's a
mind
nice little
that.
wiggle.
I don't mind that because it makes the chest look smoother.
Yeah, some people like that.
No.
We do have, and again, pretty much same as other figures I've had with the legs. We've got the thigh swivel, double-jointed knee joint, which, talk about stiff out the box. Look at that. But again, super nice, and a ball-jointed ankle. So check out, Winston's ready to do some karate kicks. Well, he was a Marine, so I wouldn't be surprised if he's just like, Shia!
Okay, I will say that Dana's articulation is definitely a little bit different.
Yeah, let's go talk about the ladies real quick as well, because we've neglected them just yet. But so first we gotta talk about the ladies is the likeness. And I think Sigourney's is pretty good.
Oh, that's a great
Sigourney's pretty great.
Because she has a square kind of...
Yeah.
Like, her face shape is a little bit non-traditional to a lot of, whatever they like to do. So they really captured it. That she has a great jawline here. And I think the likeness is pretty great, and her hair is just phenomenal.
And I think our... Gozer... Yeah, it's a little tough to call, to be honest. I think Diamond did a better job.
I think
NECA did a better job, and they did their version of her as well.
Yeah.
This looks a little cartoony to me, but it's still all right.
It's
I'm
not
actually
bad.
not like super reviled by it.
Yeah, I'm not hating it.
And articulation, they also did a great job of these as well, the ladies, especially with Gozer.
Gozer has...
She has the upper torso we're talking about there in the joint.
No, she doesn't have the bicep swivel. Oh my god, her hands are freaky.
She also doesn't have the extra joint in the shoulders.
Okay.
So she's got a few extra things, but a few less things, interestingly.
Yeah, and over here with Dina, she, again, doesn't have the double joint in the shoulders. She doesn't have the bicep swivel. She has a double jointed knee. She has double jointed knees, but she doesn't have much else. So.
I will say the big upside about Dana is that she stands.
Yeah,
and she has better movement than Diamond's version.
Yeah.
Mattel's version of her previously didn't really do much. It just came on a pedestal. So it was pretty much just laying down the whole time. This is, Mattel, I don't believe they did Gozer, but Diamond did do a Gozer. That had actual high heels. This one has heels, but they've flattened out her feet so that she can stand up easier.
Well, what they really did was they just didn't cut the plastic.
Yeah.
And also, it's terrible because it's not even.
Yeah, that too. I mean,
it's not even, and quite frankly, it looks ugly.
It's going to look weird no matter what you do with it.
This whole thing just looks kind of ugly to me. They gave her a wedge instead of heels.
But at least she can stand.
At least she can stand.
That's a big plus.
It's uneven. Why should one heel be slightly off the ground in order to get her to stand?
Yeah, I'm just happy she can stand, to be honest.
Yeah,
and
I feel
on the plus side, they also do have peg holes, so if you ever get a base, you can put them on those. And I'm also happy that Dana stands really nicely.
Yeah, Dana's doing great.
That's cool. Nice outfits, good colors. Nothing too amazing, but overall pretty good.
I will say this though, in terms of Gozer, her body is a little confusing to me, and I feel weird saying that, but the fact is, she appears a lot taller in the movie, and since they were keeping it in at this size, they gave her a slightly thicker body, which under normal circumstances, I would be totally down for. But the proportion feels a little off because she's naturally very slender, she's taller, so she gives a different type of illusion, and right now, this just looks like she's really short. She looks like I would look next to any of these people.
Well, that's kind of the controversy about these figures, is their scale and their size,
Yeah.
because a lot of folks have said that they're undersized, and there's your evidence.
Oh, she should not be taller than... Bill Murray should not be taller than her.
Well, they're about the same height,
They
really.
look like they're about the same, but from over here, from this angle, they don't.
So, yeah, I guess we're going to talk about height now. We're going to jump around a lot in this review because they're messes in a lot of ways. But, so scale-wise, they're all over the place. And, people have... I didn't bring a ruler today to size them up, but what I did bring was the original Mattel figures. Okay. So, I guess... I don't want to do comparisons yet, but we'll do it a little bit. But in terms of size, yeah, they're a little small looking.
Yeah, and it's really bothersome because Gozer should look tall.
This is teenage Gozer.
Yeah, it's like if you're gonna create this, you gotta put the whole thought into it. But since we're also talking about outfits, bodies, and everything, can we just touch on Dana for a second? I know that this is the most iconic Dana outfit. I get it. But I'm also kind of sick of it. I'm kind of over it.
Yeah, every time we've gotten Dana, it's been Mattel did her in this outfit as possessed, and the same thing with Diamond. They gave her this possessed outfit, so we've got 3 versions of it, but not one normal version of her just in her everyday clothes.
I would rather see her in her everyday clothes. It's tiresome. Let's get something different, because we can.
So let's talk about a positive now, though, and that is the Proton Packs. So this is always one of my favorite parts of all Ghostbusters figures, and I will say the Proton Packs look really good. Mm-hmm. I think one of the things I like about them is if you grab another one of them, you'll notice that the dots, they all are in different positions.
Oh, snap, I didn't know that.
Yep. So each one of the 4 packs has got a different light lit up. So that's a pretty fun little random detail thrown in there. They're all a little bit different that way.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, it's kind of nice. And another nice thing is that they're, as you can see, removable because they came this way in the box. So when Mattel first made theirs, now we're going to start getting to real nitpicking stuff here. When Mattel first made theirs, the packs were stuck to the figures. It would be another 3-ish years before they released versions with removable packs, which I didn't buy because I was like, you milked enough of my money, Mattel.
Yeah.
Same thing with Diamond. We didn't get really removable ones with them either. But this time we actually have removable ones from the get-go. And so I think we're going to try and suit them up on everybody now, see if we can. And the way that works, in theory, is it's got like a little loopy bit here. So we should be able to just... you got it. Yeah, so it looks like it just comes out once you work it through enough.
Okay, Egon, I guess this one's for you.
There we go. So yeah, let's see how easy this goes on. I mean, so far it's actually...
Not that bad.
I'm done. Okay. I'm just about done.
Yeah.
And so it's also got a little... Nice. I'm going to move the ladies. It's also got a little bit of a peg hole in his back as well.
Oh, I think this is
which you can see, so that's how you put it into there. That's it, yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, that was actually not too bad.
Yeah.
That actually fit nicely. And another really nice big plus about the Proton Pack is the hose. That's actually huge.
Yeah.
Like, it's actually double the size, I think, of the other ones, and it's kind of a little flexible in like a little wiry, so I think it can actually hold a position. And yes, you can clip it onto the backpack, onto the Proton Pack like that, so it clips on, super nice, super easy. But you can also get it into his hand, and again, because of the fact that their shoulders are double jointed, we should be able to get them to hold their guns really nicely. The hands are actually really flexible. That's an unexpected positive.
Kind of creepy. It's like all of a sudden I can move the thumb.
The hands are made of a softer material, so yeah, like that's unexpected, but very good. So yeah, I'm trying to actually get into his hands, and as I was just being excited about how soft the hands are, the soft hands are also a problem. It's making them slip right out of there. Like, I can get one hand into the weapon, not another.
Yeah, that's why I just gave up and put it on Egon, making it look all nice.
Yeah, so I'm going to do that off camera, and hopefully for my B-roll shots later, you will see it on him, because in theory, it should work out well. I've seen other people do it. It just looks like it's going to take a little bit more time for us, at least our figures. And now with the Proton Packs on, they're standing up still pretty straight. So
yeah, they're still looking good.
All right, so we got all the Proton Packs on, and I did actually manage to get Winston's gun in his hands. I just really had to force it in there.
Yeah.
Took a lot of tries to do it. But it gets in there, and it does actually look good, so I'll give it that. You just got to really, really, really play with it.
Mm-hmm. And one thing we discovered, which was actually kind of a cool thing, the packs seem to be designed a little bit to fit the body, because I put the Proton Pack that I think came with the Rey on Egon, no problem. But then the Proton Pack that was supposedly came with Egon, I tried to put it on Rey and couldn't get it done.
So it turns out that normally Ghostbuster toys we've looked on in the past, Mattel included, they've all had just one body type, because it's just one jumpsuit.
Yeah, for the most part.
With Rey, he is actually paunchier. He's actually a little bit chubbier than the other figures, which is accurate.
It's not a huge difference, but you can see, I think you can see from this angle, that he's just he's just got a little bit of a belly.
He's got a little bit more extra weight, and so his Proton Pack is different because it has to fit his body differently.
Yeah.
So totally unexpected.
Unexpected, kind of cool.
And that's like the first figure to have that done, period. Yeah. Like, no one's done that before.
I mean, I think it might be overcomplicating things. They should have just all given it the same amount of wiggle room, but I like the concept behind it.
I'm actually totally happy that they did that little detail, because it's finally someone actually acknowledged it.
Yeah.
So they each also come with a unique accessory to the figures, and I think that's also going to make us bring out some of the Mattel figures at this point. But let's go ahead. First off, we have, with our Winston figure, he comes with a Proton Stream. I think it's made of a softer material. Yes, much softer material than Diamond made with them, as well as Mattel.
Yeah, there's a lot of soft material here.
So look at that. He's got a Proton Stream.
Nice. Venkman comes with the Ghost Trap.
So we'll put on the floor for now.
Rey comes with his goggles.
His ecto goggles. Let's put them on his head.
Here, I'm going to let you do it, because I know how much you love that. Egon comes with the PKE meter.
And we should add that our Dina figure comes with nothing.
I really would have liked to have seen her come with, like, a carton of messed up eggs.
And our Gozer also has an accessory, which I can show you guys real quick as well. She comes with some zappy hands. So, yes, it actually is two separate hands. So,
which is nice.
Two fan hands of electricity. So the hands do swap out really nicely, which makes me kind of wonder why they didn't do what Diamond has done and just have swappable hands for everybody, so we don't have the issue of these soft rubbery hands. You know,
because that would be thoughtful.
They just had made like a firmer set of hands, and they just like include an extra set for each guy. Would have been problem solved.
Oh my gosh, I love how that looks.
Are you a god?
No.
Then die. But yeah, that's pretty cool looking. I mean, that actually does look really nice. I'm totally down with that. But let's go ahead now and bring out some of our Mattel figures, do some comparisons. I guess I'll start here with our Egon. So here's our two Egons together. So they both came with PKE meters. How about that? That's kind of fun, isn't it?
It seems like everybody associates the PKE meter with Egon, it feels like.
Pretty much the main thing he used.
Yeah.
And so we can kind of see now, again, the difference between the two figures. And number one is in terms of height, they're almost the same height.
I think the hair makes this Egon a little bit taller.
Yeah, more or less the same though. Yeah. And in terms of details, you know, the PKE meter on the original Mattel has actually got way more detail on it. You can see it's got the silver on the antenna, not here, and it's got a lot more button color as well. You can see that it's got a lot more paint color. And on that same token too, let's talk about the Proton Packs. Way more color on the Mattel version, a lot more. But the size of it is, I think, more accurate on this version here. So that's interesting. And they're both actually very good faces.
But I prefer this one.
Yeah, I think the Hasbro one is better too. I think one of the big differences is the glasses. They actually look better because they're sculpted on, I guess. So that's kind of neat. And while we're comparing things too, you can see another big difference is the yellow hose on his legs. So on the Mattel's version, it's transparent plastic. Here, it's just painted yellow. Now, I'm pretty sure this is not age related. I'm pretty sure it's just the color of the outfits that they were made, but they're two different uniform colors even. And, you know, granted, what I'm wearing is not the most accurate representation of the jumpsuit either.
But yours is closer to this.
So yeah, there you go.
This.
So there you go. That's our answer about the color of the jumpsuits. But
Yeah.
overall, a lot of interesting changes in the details. Some things are bigger, some things are smaller. The walkie-talkies even on him is different.
Yeah.
So paint app again is different. They made a lot of interesting choices. I'll give you that. Let's take a look at our Rays now. So I believe they also both came with ecto goggles, but I can't remember honestly if the other Ray did. I'm pretty sure he did.
Okay, that's Hasbro, and this is clearly Mattel.
So yeah, neither one is really great. Neither one was strong to begin with. Diamond did the best version of Rey, and unfortunately I don't have one with me to show you off today. But again, it's different scale also.
But I would say that the Hasbro, again, it's a better representation of Rey.
Yeah, as much as the sculpt is not that great, it is better.
Yeah, I mean, like, what did he do to his face? It looked like they pinched his face.
I mean, they got the jowls better here, I'd say too, though. The jowls look better. Like from the side, it looks more. It reads more like Dan Aykroyd to me, but this is like a better version.
Yeah,
despite that.
okay. I get what you're saying, but it's just weird because his face was like pinched together.
Neither's great.
No.
And another thing I'm just realizing now too, since we're talking about the proton guns here, you'll notice that Rey's gun has a little wire on the tip of it. None of the Hasbros have that wire.
Oh.
So interesting thing is, so it's missing a pretty important element to the proton guns. None of those from Hasbro have that.
Yeah, let's go take a look at our Peters.
That sounded terrible.
That's what he said.
Yeah, I should mention to you guys that this is the slimed version of Peter Venkman because Mattel, really milked the Ghostbuster fan base when they first released Peter. I believe it was maybe a San Diego exclusive. This was the first way to get Peter. It was a slimed version of him, so his hair is different, and he's got kind of like the slimed look on him. For comparison today, just because I did bring one Diamond figure, and that's the slimed Peter Venkman from Diamond, so we can have now a three-way competition finally to really check all these guys out.
And he says what I said was bad?
Well, three-way with Peter Venkman, folks.
Sure, Dana would be very happy.
And I'm sure Peter will be very happy. So aside from Peter's O-face over here, to compare all three sculpts, I'd say they're actually all really good. All three are pretty solid. Which one is better is tough to say. They're all actually pretty strong likenesses.
No, he's got way too big a forehead.
Okay, despite the fact that he's slime, which doesn't help anything.
No, the forehead looks really strange. I would actually say this is my winner.
Hasbro wins again.
Yeah, the Hasbro wins because I feel like the face shape is a little bit more accurate. Bill Murray has a large forehead, and you could see with this both slimed versions they're doing it, but at the same time they just look kind of weird and creepy. This at least looks like it looks more realistic.
Although I should add that the non-slime versions of Venkman look far better than this one here. This one was not a good likeness of him,
but this is hilariously bad.
And also, just so you guys can see, the Proton Pack comparison. Again, this one is slimed. It's closer to the version here from Hasbro as well. They're both wider packs as opposed to the Mattel pack, which is a lot slimmer. And there's also way more color detail in Hasbro and Diamond's versions.
Yeah, but I will say the Hasbro, I really feel like they capture his expression.
Yeah,
more
definitely.
than anything.
Yeah, the expression is correct.
I think that's why I prefer it. Like, it would be Hasbro, Mattel, then Diamond.
Although we really know that the best Peter Venkman is the real Ghostbusters Peter Venkman from Diamond.
Absolutely.
That's the superior Peter. Mm-hmm. Peter also came with, actually I don't remember who came with this in the original Mattels, but the Peter from Hasbro comes with a ghost trap. So that's what you get here is this little guy here. It is hollow, by the way. It's a hollow piece.
It's nothing.
Here's what Mattel gave you.
Okay. Well, for starters, we have a way to open the trap.
Yeah, because that's what's missing here is no pedal to step on. So he's just going to permanently be holding it. And I don't even think he has anything on his belt. There's really nowhere to even put the trap.
And more importantly, Mattel can open the trap.
And by the way, not only did that trap open, it came with an energy effect, translucent particle effect, to actually put a ghost and sit inside it.
Come on, that's awesome. That's cheaping out.
Really is, especially for a little thing like this. Come on.
Yeah, I mean that should just have a few little mini baby hinges and boom, it's over and done with. But let's move on
to our last but not least.
We're gonna have some words about this.
Our Winstons.
So you're gonna know really quickly which Winston I think is the superior Winston. Say hello to Ernie Hudson. Hey, look, somebody did it right.
I forgot how good that Ernie Hudson sculpt was.
This is Ernie Hudson.
Yeah, I forgot how good that head was. I hadn't looked at this toy in years.
I'm so mad. Like, I'm genuinely upset about this because this is Ernie. Like, his face shape, all of it. Like, this is his face.
Yeah.
This is his face. Why has nobody been able to replicate this?
I don't know. Diamond didn't even do that great of a job with him either. Diamond was okay, but not as good as this.
No, but it's like... Ernie Hudson's not a freaky weird man.
Really not. He's got a really smooth face, but also deep eye sockets. I think it just throws people off, but they got it here.
It's also, I mean,
They even got his hair right. The hair as well is like correct.
They got everything right.
Like his hair is really smooth in the new Hasbro version. Doesn't really look right. That actually is textured like his hair was in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, there's like his eyes. Oh my god, his eyes are just.
They got the eyes. They got the mouth. They got the mustache.
They got the nose.
They got the cheeks.
They got everything.
Like they did a really, really great job with Winston.
How? Like literally, if they were to pop this head off, put it here, boom, perfect Winston.
So what I want to talk about in particular with Winston, though, is not just the head sculpt, it's his unique accessory, which is the Proton Stream. So Winston of the 4 Ghostbusters is the only figure to come with a Proton Stream. This is what Mattel did when they first did their Ghostbusters figures as well, was only one character had a stream, and I think it was actually the plain Peter may have had the stream. And I think when they did later wave, because again, it was a few years before Mattel re-released these with the removable Proton Packs, that they then, I think, included another Proton Stream with each of them in 2-pack form. So they made, you had to buy them all over again, basically, to get that. With Diamond, you got a Proton Stream in every Ghostbuster figure. That was great.
Mm-hmm. We really liked that. That was fun to play with.
But here, once again, Hasbro is milking the Ghostbuster fan base, and I don't like that.
No, I don't appreciate that at all.
Because, again, every figure should have a stream. Mm-hmm. Diamond had every figure come with a stream. Diamond also had every figure come with a ghost trap, I believe.
I believe so, too, yeah.
Pretty sure...
I feel like they all had traps, too, but
or at least they're... Sure. I'm not positive, but I know there was more than one.
Yeah.
And, so... just they're milking the fan base. It's cool that they're got removable backpacks. It's cool they have the great superior articulation, but don't cheap out on Proton Streams, really.
Oh, I mean,
it's like if you're a little kid or even a collector who wants to get these figures, you only get one Proton Stream for 4 guys.
It makes no sense.
No, that's cheap.
And especially when you're gonna include Gozer into the line. Yeah. If you're gonna include Gozer and this is gonna be a collectible, how do you not have the ability to have all of them shooting her?
Or just shooting anything in general.
Well, yeah, but, I mean, look, there's something that could be said for having one stream to, say, capture Slimer or something, But if you're going to include Gozer in the line, every single person needs to have a stream.
So I want to do one other comparison before we put together our Build-A-Figure, because it's just been sitting on our table for like 20 minutes now. But I want to bring out another Hasbro figure, and that's the Star Wars Black Series. Because I want to compare... if they're putting more time and effort into the Black Series than they are with these new Ghostbusters, and I think the answer is going to be yes.
I think so as well.
So I just reviewed these recently on the channel, if you saw. These are from the Empire Strikes Back 40th Anniversary series. I've got Bespin Luke, I've got Leia in her Hoth outfit, I've got Han in his Cloud City outfit also, and I was blown away by the head sculpts, the paint on their hair. I mean, I don't know if you had a good look at these either, but Leia's gorgeous. I thought these were some of the best figures. I almost want to start buying Black Series because how good they look.
I love the height.
And the heights are all correct. The height and scale is accurate. Everybody's unique to each other.
Yeah. Oh, this is great. And I mean...
look at how good that head is, right?
He looks so whiny, but not. He looks like he's holding in a fart.
So I'm going to pull out our Egon here to compare him with... it doesn't matter who we compare it to, but I'll say like the biggest thing off the bat. So, if we're going to compare hairs, hair for darker haired people, it seems like are pretty flat in general, but it's the faces that are worth noting. And there is clearly more detail in the Star Wars than there are in the Ghostbusters figures.
Yes.
There's a little bit more tone in the Star Wars Black Series figures. I mean, there's like some color in the cheek and stuff. It just seems like there's more tension in these faces than the Ghostbusters figures. I personally think that the faces they're very good when they get them right, that is, with the Hasbro Ghostbusters, but I think they put a little bit of extra effort into the Star Wars series, and that disappoints me.
I agree with you on that, and I mean, they do it in part because that's where their bread and butter is.
It is. But it's just, they're putting a lot of time and effort into Ghostbusters. We're not going to get a lot more of these figures either, so why not go all in? Because it clearly doesn't cost that much of a difference to do them.
No, I completely agree.
So, all right, let's finally now put together the Build-A-Figure, because this was a big attraction as well. We've got a bunch of pieces here, the giant torso. So I didn't bring any Terror Dogs from Diamond, unfortunately, and I don't know if I even own one from Mattel. I'm pretty sure they made them. I just don't think I ever got one from Mattel's versions.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think at that point I might have tapped out because I just didn't like how Mattel was milking the fan base.
Yeah.
I will say that it's kind of fun that his tail is actually soft. That's unusual. Would you like to put them together?
I'll start. You're gonna finish.
Well,
anyway,
where's Peter Venkman now? So our Terror Dog does look pretty decent here, I'd say. I like the paint job on him. Kind of like two-tone paint job on his backside there.
Yeah, and putting it together was pretty easy for you.
Yeah, it actually was. What's cool is that he does have a hinged jaw that does go up and down, but it's a little rough. Diamond did a way better job with the jaw.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I personally really like that his upper body you could, oh look, he's doing push-ups. Or you can flip him over And look, rub his belly.
Yeah.
He's like, oh, rub my belly, rub my belly. That's how you calm a terror dog down. That's how you electrocute a terror dog.
Yeah, what are you gonna do? So that's our look at the Ghostbusters figures from Hasbro. Here they all are together. So overall, a lot of good, a lot of bad.
A lot of disappointing.
Yeah, I have really mixed feelings about all these, and I don't like that I have mixed feelings about them. And, if you look back and look at our Diamond Ghostbuster reviews, we have all of them up here. We reviewed all of them.
Yeah.
I had a lot of mixed feelings about them, but I feel like I've got a lot more mixed feelings about these and in a much more negative way.
There was less gray area for it, I feel, with the Diamond. Whereas this is just very, very confusing. And quite frankly, I'm still going to be really bitter about the Winston thing.
Yeah, having not looked at those Mattel figures in so many years, I remember them looking kind of funny, but they did the job back then. It was fine.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
It's like 10-year-old figures, but looking at like the Winstons, I can't believe how much better that Winston looks than anything we've had from Winston in years.
Yeah, seriously. I will stand firm on this being the superior Winston for all time. Until somebody comes out with something that beats this, this is the Winston to get. Forget about scale, forget about anything. You want likeness. Mattel.
But speaking of scale, the fact that they're all pretty much the same height kind of does bother me.
Yeah.
They do feel a little bit small compared to other figures. We saw with the Star Wars Black Series, they all have different heights, and some were bigger than others.
Yeah.
Here, everybody's the same size.
But
they don't quite feel like a full 6 inches, even though I guess they are. But they're smaller looking, and I don't think that it's that we're used to seeing Hasbro's Marvel Legends where guys are big and buff, because the Star Wars figures are far from being big and buff. But they are just a little bit bigger.
I feel like it's something about the body, because I'm looking at the Mattels, and while they're all about the same height, they don't feel wrong.
As a unit together as Ghostbusters, they don't feel wrong, but in scale with like other figures, that's more what I mean.
No, I agree with you. It's just I can look at some of these and I can be like, oh, they feel really short.
Yeah.
There's something about the design that's making it seem really short in terms of how they sculpted it. Whereas with the Mattel, there was something about the lines that helped elongate it.
Well, I think they're also slimmer looking figures. These are a little bit stockier because of the jumpsuits.
And that might be part of it.
And it's also a little bit more accurate to the material and how it looks. There's a lot of different things that we could talk about with it. Like they've got way better articulation. The fact that the packs come off right away is a really nice positive.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good. There's some bad. Enough that, I still want to recommend them. But I say it's probably worth waiting a little bit to see if there's a price decrease, because I don't think these are going to be rare or sell out, especially because the movie has been delayed for a year.
Yeah.
I think these are going to actually sit a little bit. So, I would say wait a little bit, see if there's a price drop. I'm pretty sure that there will be a price drop.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to be super rare to get either. I think they're going to be making a lot of these because they're hoping there's going to be such a bum rush to get them.
So before we conclude this, we need to address the elephant in the room. Or
Ghost elephant?
Or the terror dog in the room.
Found him.
Yeah. There's someone very, very important who's missing from this line. Now, technically, you could say he's here, but he's not.
Yeah.
We are missing a Rick Moranis.
And it's funny because Mattel did Rick Moranis and Diamond did Rick Moranis.
Yeah, so I don't know what the deal is there. He deserves to be there. Be in this line.
We should also note that there's also no Janine here.
I can accept not having a Janine, though, because they put the Gozer in. That's the only reason I can accept it.
My main thought is that there's potential for either exclusives or they're maybe thinking of a second wave or two.
Possibly.
Because we could still get plain clothes versions of all of our Ghostbusters. We still could get a normal Dana. We could get a Rick Moranis. Yes. We could get a Janine. We could get a Walter Peck.
I was going to say we could get a Peck.
And we got all those folks from Mattel and Diamond. So there's possibilities of more figures.
Yeah.
But will they do that? I don't know.
I don't either. Yeah. I think it's going to be dependent on how successful this all is. But it's just always really disappointing to me when you have a line and it's the four guys and it's Dana and you don't get a Louis Tully. Though also, I just want to point out, I just learned that the Terror Dog can stand on its tiptoes.
Thanks for showing us Terror Dog Taint. Really, really great content right there on YouTube. That's great.
Demonetized.
I mean, yeah, really, it's like, will they make more of these? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't think they will, to be honest.
I don't think so either.
I don't see it.
Which is another reason why it really bothers me that there's no, Louis.
Like, it's a very self-contained line. That's why we've got all four Ghostbusters and their key accessories up front. That's basically what Mattel did also, more or less. They put up the guys first, and then the secondary characters came later. So it's a possibility, but I don't know.
I don't know. I just think it's wrong.
You know, I'm actually going to go and say that maybe they'll do Ghostbusters 2, because if they're going to milk the franchise, they have to do number 2, and then we'll get maybe a plain Lewis for the first time ever, because we've always gotten crazy possessed Lewis.
I'd be okay with that.
We've never gotten a plain Lewis, and we could also get Ghostbusters 2 Janine, because there's never been a Ghostbusters 2 Janine aside from the Titan vinyl figure of her.
Okay. I would be okay with that.
That could be a first possibility, maybe. We'll see. You know, for what we have, they're pretty good. I do like them. You know, there's a lot of things I'm unhappy about, and I think the shipping really put me in a sour mood, because that was really annoying. You know, Hasbro Pulse has been kind of problematic here and there. Like, the G.I. Joe toys just came out recently, the 6-inch versions of those, and they had a Cobra Commander that just came out. I don't know if you saw this.
No.
But there was a big deal because they put up the Cobra Commander as a network exclusive. That was like this website called Network, where they've done some stuff like that before. And it turns out it isn't actually exclusive, it's just an early release. And fans were really annoyed by that. They thought the colors were different. No, it was just a mistake because they showed the Pro that was a different color. So, you know, but it's like, what's the point of having Hasbro Pulse if you're going to still have an exclusive to do someone else's first?
Yeah.
So, you know, I don't really understand Hasbro Pulse still as a service. I've ordered from them now. This is, I think, actually my second time. Because the first time was with the Ghostbusters Ectotron. That was like part of the debut of Hasbro Pulse. So as a service, there's still a lot to work on. And I ordered these from Pulse. I got them in 6 separate boxes. That's stupid. I don't like that. And there's just, you know, again, a lot of nitpicks I had for these guys, way more than I feel like I've had for any other Ghostbuster figures I've looked at.
I feel like this batch has definitely put you in the strangest and possibly sourest of moods.
I'm really unhappy about how much I'm unhappy about these figures.
Yeah.
And I am liking them, but I also feel like I'm putting on a little bit of a happy face here.
Oh yeah, you totally are.
Yeah, I'm trying to be way more positive because they're Ghostbusters, but you know, I don't want these figures to be what Mattel did to us like a decade ago, where they're milking the fans for more money. I don't want Hasbro to do that.
No.
I want Hasbro to give us the same quality they give us with Marvel Legends and the Star Wars Black Series.
I agree with that.
Treat the fans the way we should be treated.
Yeah. I mean, because the fans want to give you money. So...
We want to buy this stuff, so give us what we want and make it the good stuff. Don't keep yanking our wallets away from us just to get more money out of us.
Yeah. And can we please get a good Winston?
Yeah, seriously. Work on that Winston. Next time around, I want a new Winston head.
Seriously.
Because that's what I'm worried about, too, is if they do a sequel line, they are not going to change the heads. Because guess what? They recycled the heads from Mattel, and I believe Diamond... I think Diamond actually did change them, but...
Diamond did change them.
For Ghostbusters 2 figures from Mattel, they changed Winston's face. That's it. Yeah. Everybody else had the same heads.
Mm-hmm. It's like, come on. Look at this face. Look at it. It's beautiful. Let's get this face on that body.
So I'm Matthew.
I'm Andrea. This is Vince Cletho.
And we'll see you guys here next time on Nerd News Today.
Bye. Attack!
Ow.